Hey guys, D-Man here, and today we're talking about Red Dead Redemption 2 once again. And this time we're talking about the top 15 mythological creatures that should be in Red Dead 2 as Easter eggs, I guess. But these are the top 10 mythological creatures. Not all of them are mythological and not all of them are creatures, but that's the title, so let's just go with it. But top 10, I mean not top 10, top 15, sorry. Top 15 creatures that I personally think should be in Red Dead Redemption 2. So at number 5, oh yeah, these creatures are rated from least likely to most likely. So at number 15, we have fairies. Why fairies? I was just thinking of stuff and I thought about fairies. What if there was fairies in Red Dead? I think there's going to be a lot of forest areas and stuff like that. So there might be fairies, and maybe they're not going to look like this. Maybe they're going to be like those evil fairies that will attack you or something like that. It might even be a stranger and freak mission where you get to see a fairy. It'd be pretty funny, but highly unlikely because it's not really a mythological fantasy game. And then at number 14, we have gnomes. Just because they're gnomes. I was just thinking, pop culture likes gnomes, and supposedly there are a little race of people called gnomes. So I was thinking maybe in Red Dead Redemption 2, somewhere you'll be able to see gnomes just wandering the forest. Somewhere in a remote part of the map or something like that, you'll see gnomes wandering in the forest or something like that. It'd be pretty funny, but highly unlikely, but it'd be really funny if it happens. At number 13, we have vampires. Now, this film is back in the old days, so I was thinking, what if there was vampires? Or just one vampire. Maybe there's a Stranger and Freaks mission where you find a vampire. That'd be pretty cool to see. Just going to fight a vampire or something like that. That'd be pretty cool, pretty awesome. But just be cool, pretty awesome. But I don't think it's likely because I don't know if they'll put a vampire in there. But anyways, at number 12, we have the chupacabra. So, this was in Red Dead Undead Nightmare. You had to go track it down and stuff like that. And it would just be a cool little Easter egg to put in there. A chupacabra in the desert somewhere. Because we know there is a desert, so just a chupacabra out in the desert, wandering the desert would be pretty cool to see. Especially if we heard the goats in the farm life is getting killed by something. And then we were like, oh, what is that supposed to be? But it's a chupacabra. And at number 11, we have a giant bird. Not Big Bird, by the way. But no, a giant bird. And I was thinking, about, mythological, legends and stuff like that, or folk tales, where people say, we have giant birds here somewhere, where people say, there's a giant bird, or, the African legends, I guess, where there's supposedly giant birds there, too. And some people say, they're old mythological, not mythological, but they're, pterodactyls and stuff like that, or sometimes they say, there's giant birds. And there's just pictures of these birds somewhere, places and stuff like that. And a lot of people believe that there's still, these giant birds places. Personally, I don't know. There might be. It's a big world, so there might be a giant bird out there somewhere, or maybe a pterodactyl or something like that, but I don't know. But I was just thinking, in Red Dead 2, it'd be the awesomest place to put this, because big-ass forest, and just big-ass map, and so much animal life, it'd be cool to have this, and you'd probably get an achievement for hunting it down. It'd be really cool, especially if it attacked you. And at number, what are we on, 10? I think we're on 10, right? Yes, 10. Witch. We have a witch. So at number 10, we have a witch. So this is kind of like the vampire, but the vampire is less likely than this, because I feel like in this game, we might see a witch just out there somewhere in the world. Maybe even have a witch trial where someone gets burned alive. That'd be pretty cool. pretty interesting. Not cool, I guess, but interesting to see. But it'd be cool if we heard tell about someone that's called a witch or something like that, and maybe she's a scientist or they're a scientist, and or maybe we'll see like a witch trial. That'd be pretty interesting to see. Or maybe we'll see something similar to that. Maybe like a Hansel and Gretel story. That'd be pretty interesting too. I just think this would be a really interesting like side mission to discover a witch or discover talks about a witch, especially if it's like a mythological witch, like a Hansel and Gretel witch or something like that. It'd be pretty cool to see. Obviously, I don't think we're gonna find a house made out of candy, but it'd be cool to hear about something like that, and even to see like a witch trial would be pretty interesting. Although I don't think that's gonna happen, but it'd be cool to see that. And at number 9, we have the occult and also demons. So, in this game, I think there might be an occult of some sort, somewhere in the world doing something, and maybe they'll try to summon a demon. I don't think this is going to happen, but I do think that there might be an occult of some sort, because occults existed back then too, so it'd be really interesting to see like this evil occult or something like that. It'd be really cool to see. And then maybe we'll see them do a ritual or something like that to summon a demon. That'd be pretty interesting too. I just want to see something like this because that'd be interesting. And like, could you imagine if we could do like side missions for these guys and stuff like that? Sort of like GTA 5 where we did side missions for the for the cult with Michael. I forgot their name, but there's a cult there, and we do side missions for them with Michael. And it's a pretty interesting little side plot, little side story. So maybe something like that, but with an actual cult that does horrible things or does evil things, or maybe they do good things. I don't know, but it'd just be interesting to see. And what if they summon a demon? That'd be cool. That'd be cool to see if they summon a demon. Oh. Okay, so next is Lake Monster at number 8. Number 8 is the Lake Monster. Why do I think this is going to be in there? First off, in 2 trailers now, we saw someone on a boat, and we also saw someone on a boat fishing. So I think you're going to be able to control a boat. Maybe not all boats, but at least some boats. I think you're going to be able to have boats or steal them and go out into the water and just control them. You probably will be able to control a boat. And maybe that will actually lead you to being able to swim as well. And I think that this might actually lead to a lake monster or a river monster or what have you. It'd be really interesting to go out into a lake or a river and just like all of a sudden be attacked by a lake monster or see something like a lake monster. It'd be really cool. It'd be like one of the coolest Easter eggs if they had this. Because I think you're going to be able to go on boats, and I think you're going to be able to control them yourself, and I'm pretty sure you might be able to swim. You might be able to swim, but I think you'll definitely be able to control boats. That'd be really awesome to do, and also just going to look at the lake and stuff like that. But could you imagine if you saw something like this? Just a lake monster? That'd be freaking amazing. That's why I want it in this game, because it's freaking awesome. That'd be hilarious and awesome. And imagine if you go outside the borders, like on the lake maps, you see something like that. I'll put a link to a video that I already did on that in the description below. Imagine if you went outside of the borders on the map in the water, and this is what attacked you, a lake monster. That'd be hilarious and awesome. Okay, at number 8, we have... Wait, 7, sorry. We have aliens. Aliens at number 7. I don't know if it'd be full-on aliens, but maybe we'll see a few spaceships here and there. Maybe even see one abduct cattle. That'd be pretty cool. Or maybe we'll get abducted ourselves, because we know in GTA 5 we had that alien thing, so... it'd just be pretty interesting to see something like this. Just aliens going around. It'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool. I don't know if it's a likely Easter egg, but I know it's an awesome Easter egg, and I think it's more likely than the rest of these. Even the lake monster, sadly. But it's a pretty cool Easter egg if it does happen. Okay, so at number 6, we have Ghost. A ghost showed up in Grand Theft Auto 5. It showed up, it was there, you saw it, it didn't do anything. But if you went down to the bottom of the place where it was, you heard whispers. And it's a pretty creepy story all in general. And I was thinking maybe something like this will happen in Red Dead 2, something similar. It'd be pretty cool if it did. Maybe we'll see ghost towns with this in it, or maybe we'll see something else with this in it. It would just be really, really cool. Even like, what if it goes as far as like you kill someone and you start seeing their ghost? I don't think it will, but that'd be awesome to do if like you just kill somebody and you start seeing their ghost. Or what if there's a scene in there where you take drugs or something like that, and then you start seeing all the people that you killed? That'd be freaking awesome to see in Red Dead Redemption 2. But I think that there might be a ghost Easter egg in there somewhere, or a few of them actually. Probably along with a bunch of other ones too, which I might go in depth in other videos. So at number 5, we have the mysterious man from Red Dead 1. So this guy shows up, he knows John Marston, and he just talks weird, and he's impervious to bullets. It's very weird that this guy just shows up. And he also knows where he's going to be buried with his wife, sort of thing. So it's really weird, and we never get the full story of who he is. Is he the devil? Is he an angel? Is he like God or something like that? We don't know who he is, but he just shows up, and we can talk to him. It'd be pretty interesting to see if he shows up in Red Dead 2 once again. I think that we might have an appearance, a cameo from him in a Strangers and Freaks mission, or maybe something similar to him. It'd be very interesting to see, and I think that we haven't seen the last of this guy yet because he was an interesting part of Red Dead 1, and I think he's probably going to come back in Red Dead 2. So, at number 4, we have weird horses. That's what I put down anyways. In Red Dead Undead Nightmare, you could catch the horses of the apocalypse, if I'm not mistaken. And in Red Dead 2, I think that maybe in the base game, there might be a few horses that you can catch that are weird. Like maybe a unicorn or a Pegasus. I kind of doubt it, but that'd be pretty interesting to see a unicorn or a Pegasus. Especially a Pegasus. Because then you could fly on the map. That'd be awesome to do. If they had that in there, I'm catching that Pegasus. And I'm flying around the map. That's my main horse for the rest of the game. But it'd be pretty cool to see something like that. I think that they probably won't have like the Horse of the Apocalypse or unicorns or Pegasuses, but maybe they'll have some unique horses that will just be really unique and we'll be able to catch them. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see that though. It'd be very, very interesting to see something like this. But I think it has a high likelihood in being in the game if you have a really, really weird horse or something like that. To see something like that, that'd be awesome. And at number 3, we have Bigfoot. In Red Dead 1, we had Bigfoot. Bigfoot was in it because he was a staple character in Red Dead 1. And he was like, well, he wasn't a staple character, sorry, what am I talking about? He was a side mission, and it was pretty cool to see him. He could actually talk, which is weird. Red Dead 1 Undead Nightmare, sorry. Red Dead Undead Nightmare. But you could talk to him and stuff like that, and at the end, you basically kill all his people, and then you kill him, and you gain a reward. So I think, since this is a prequel, we can see Bigfoot once again, because John Marston has not killed out their whole population yet. So we could see Bigfoot once again, and it'd be very, very interesting to see something like that, because who doesn't want to see Bigfoot, man? We wanted it in GTA 5, we only got 2 Bigfoot Easter eggs, if I'm not mistaken. We had one in one of the main missions where we saw him like brief second in like a thermal vision, and we had one at the end, the Strangers and Freaks mission, but it turned out to be a guy in a costume. And I think they did some stuff online with it, and also the cicada plant, if I'm not mistaken, the plant where you eat it and then you turn into an animal. if you did all those plants, eventually you could actually have a golden one that will turn you into Bigfoot. So it's pretty interesting to see that in Grand Theft Auto 5. So I think it's a high likely chance that we'll have Easter eggs pertaining to him and maybe even see Bigfoot and be able to interact or kill him or whatever. It will be very interesting to see something like that. And I definitely think it's a possibility. High possibility. And at number 2 is probably the highest possibility in this whole list. Even more high than number 1, but we'll get into number 1 later and why I picked it. But is a jackalope. I hope I'm saying that right. But basically, this is a mythological rabbit with horns of a deer, or horns of a deer. And it basically just lives out in the wild. It's like a rabbit, but it has horns of a deer. And it's very interesting to see that. And it would be very interesting to hunt one of these down and probably get a trophy for it. And maybe even to sell it for a lot of money at a market or something like that. Or maybe we can even make it into a trophy. I don't know. That'd be cool to see if we can make animals into trophies. If I caught this thing and we can make animals into trophies, I'm definitely making the jackalope into a trophy. But I think this is the most likely one that we will actually see and be able to hunt down in this game is a jackalope. Because a jackalope is just something that you should put in an old western. It just is. I don't know why, it just sounds like something that you'd have in an old western. But the jackalope, pretty cool, and I hope they put it in there. And then at number 1, we have my favorite one, and that's why I put it at number 1, the werewolf. Because in Red Dead 1, we had supposed talks about there being a werewolf, but no one ever could find it, and I think it was never in the game, obviously, but supposedly it was in the game somewhere. So, in this game, we might actually have a werewolf. And I actually made a whole video on this. I'll put that in the link in the description below as well. So go watch that whole video if you want to hear more about this. But the werewolf would be awesome, because in the first game there was supposedly a werewolf, but in this game there could be a werewolf. And could you imagine fighting a werewolf? And what if they even went farther and you got bitten by the werewolf, you would turn into a werewolf? I don't think they would do that, but it'd be cool to see if they did. But I definitely want to go and fight a werewolf or find a werewolf or something. A little cut there, had to go deal with something. But anyways, as I was saying, the werewolf was speculated to be in Red Dead 1. And it could definitely be in Red Dead 2. I don't think it will be, but it might be hinted to. But I'm really hoping it will be. I'm hoping beyond hope that this will be in Red Dead 2. It would be freaking awesome to go fight a werewolf. And I have a video about the borders and the werewolf already, as I already said. I'll put those both into the description below. But about the borders of the map, what if on a certain part of the map, if you cross that border of the map, and you go across it, what if you get attacked by a werewolf? That's just unkillable. That'd be awesome to see, just this werewolf attack you. I want to see a werewolf in the game. I wanted to see it in Red Dead 1. It wasn't there. We were lied to by everybody who said they saw it. But I definitely want to see it in Red Dead 2. It'd be awesome to see a werewolf in Red Dead 2. It'd just be awesome. But, anyways, guys, that is my top 10, top 15, not 10, top 15 mythological creatures that I think should be in Red Dead 2. From least likely to most likely, including the werewolf. The werewolf is just my favorite. But my top 10, that's top 15, god damn it. Why am I saying top 10? But top 15 mythological creatures that should be in Red Dead Redemption 2 that I hope they put in there, especially the werewolf. I hope you liked this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, friends, stay sane, peace, and put the werewolf in there, Red Dead. Put the werewolf in there, Rockstar. Just saying, put it in there, guys. Please. Peace. Hey guys, D-Man here. Just saying, hope you liked this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and all that nonsense. But anyways, I hope you have a good day, because, you know, the video's over. And I hope you watch more videos. Go ahead and click these videos, or click subscribe, you know. See ya.